Good morning, namaste. We can approach our yoga practice like a dance. We're always kind of balancing, coming back to center. It's a dance between effort and ease. In yoga, we call that stillness, strength, effort, and sukham, softness or ease. It's a balance of the inner and the outer worlds. And it's really kind of always coming back and finding the middle ground. So right now, let's just find that connection, that balance with our breath. So allow your eyes to gently close. Sit a little bit taller through your seat as you press down into your sit bones. And then as you close your eyes, connect to your breathing. Take some full deep breaths in. Feel that sense of your breath lengthening as it moves through your body, deepening and even widening, especially as you draw the breath through your heart center. And playing with the breath, using the breath in yoga is another dance. It's that connecting to a fuller, deeper breath as we just flow through the practice. We talked about Ujjayi breathing, which is typically the meditative breath that we use as we practice. It's breath with sound. It's a slight hugging and constriction at our throat. As the breath moves through our nostrils, draws across the back of our throat deep into our body. And then it follows that same path all the way out. So see if you can sit here on your mat quietly, connect to your Ujjayi breathing. The challenge would be to stay with that breath as you practice. And then just allowing your practice to meet you where you are today. You've done the most important part already, which is unrolling your mat and being here present for the next hour. Bring your palms together at your heart, just feeling that energy at your heart center. Bow your head to your heart, that force of peace, love, serenity. Take a nice full breath in as you reach your arms up overhead. And then as you exhale, lower your hands. If you're seating on a block or anything, you can come off of that, sit back. And just rechange the cross of your legs. All right, let your hands come to your knees and hug you slightly back on your knees. So your heart's going to press a little forward. Lengthen through the crown of your head. As you exhale, drop your chin to your chest. And then let's just release out the neck and a little bit into the shoulders and upper back. Just roll your head from side to side. Go nice and slow, and that way you can just feel where there's any little tight areas. And then we'll bring our head back down to center. Take a breath there. Nice. Inhale, lift all the way up and let your right ear drop towards your right shoulder. You could stay here for a few breaths or take your right hand, kind of wrap it. And you're creating a little length, like you're lengthening away from your shoulder. Maybe reach the left arm out and palm faces up. And let's see if you can reach your fingertips down towards the earth. Nice, and then curl your fingertips into a little fist and then reach that down towards the earth. All right, and then lower that hand down. We'll come to the other side, so roll your head through center and over to the left. Okay, and then we're going to wrap the left hand. So we're lengthening rather than pushing down. And then right arm reaches out, palm faces up. Fingers point down, so stretching through the forearm. And then make a little fist. Roll that down towards the earth. So now we're stretching through the back of the wrist. All right, and then we're going to release. Nice, lower down. And a couple more times, just roll your head from side to side. Okay, inhale, lifting up tall, lean forward. And then we're just going to move in spirals. Circling out, maybe getting a little wider, a little bigger with your circle. And just close your eyes. Notice how you can feel that transfer of energy underneath your seat as you lean forward to the side, to the back. Always sitting nice and tall. Just letting these movements match the pace of your breath. Okay, let's take one more big circle. We'll pause back at the top. And then as you exhale, let's move in the opposite direction. And just notice anywhere where they're getting the stretch. It's good in your low back. Alrighty. We'll come all the way back. Stopping at center, take your hands down to the mat, and then let's take a forward fold. Maybe come down to your elbows. Drop your chin in towards your chest. Right. Press yourself up. Change the cross of your legs. And then we'll take that forward fold again. So reaching out, stay here, come down to your elbows. Tuck your chin in, melt your forehead down towards the earth. Press a little bit more firmly down through both thighs, both hips. Awesome. All right, walk your hands back in. And then we'll come onto our hands and knees. And then continuing that movement on the breath, let's take a few rounds of cat-cow. So tops of your feet on the mat. Hands pressing firmly, solidly down into the earth. Inhale here. As you exhale, we're going to round. Hug your navel towards your spine. All right, inhale and exhale. Movement on the breath. Take a few more rounds of this. So this is a really great way to warm up our spines. Opening up the front and the back. This next inhale, we're going to come back to neutral. Tuck your toes underneath you, and then slide your right leg to the back of your mat. Lift it up and make some little circles. Release out your ankle. Go the opposite way. All right. And then we're going to reach the left arm out. So it's opposite arm to left. Inhale here, create lots of left. As you exhale, we're going to squeeze the knee and the elbow together. Inhale. Let's do that 2 more times. So moving at the pace of your Ujjayi breathing. We're going to inhale here. As you exhale, lower your hand, keep your leg lifted. Cross your right leg over your left, and then look over your left shoulder. So now we're bringing a little lateral stretch to our right side. All right, sweep the leg back behind you. Exhale, lower the knee down. And then we'll come into the other side. So left leg reaches back and lifts. Let your gaze look down, that really helps with balance. And then the right arm extends. Take a lengthening inhale. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, press back. Alright, and then we'll do this one more time. Hug everything in, round into your spine. Beautiful. Inhale, extend and lower your hand. Cross your left leg over your right. And just take some nice full deep breaths. Really feel like you're lengthening out through the left side. Alright, bring that leg back behind you. Take a round of cat-cow. Okay, then we're going to come back to the right side. So opposite arm to leg, you're going to lift the right leg and lift the right arm, left arm. Alright, so option to stay here in balance, or maybe bend your knee, reach back and find your foot. If you find your foot, then press into your right hand, lengthen your heart forward, and press your foot into your hand. Come into cross fold. Alright, release and extend that. We're going to lower down, come straight into the other side, so left leg, and right up. First option is to stay here or reach back, find the foot, lifting into your crossbone. And then let's release and extend. Lower your hand and your knee. Walk your hands a little bit forward and then lean forward. So now your shoulders are right over your wrists. Tuck your toes, press into the ball of your feet. Lift your knees up off the mat, just about 2 inches. Feel your navel hugging in and up. Squeeze your shins and your forearms together. Take another inhale here. And then as you exhale, lengthen everything back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So both feet pressing evenly. Press the earth away through your hands. Take some full deep Ujjayi breaths here. Alright, on your next inhale, we're going to shift forward into a high plank. So press back through your heels. Reach your tailbone towards your heels. Tuck your pubic bone up towards your low ribs. Alright, inhale here. Exhale, knees down. And reach back to child's pose. Alright, take another breath in child's pose. And then we're going to come down onto forearms. Walk our feet back behind us. And come into an elbow plank. Alright, so same thing here. Tailbone reaches away. Pubic bone lifts a little bit towards your low ribs. Hugging your forearms, shins together. Beautiful. As you exhale, lower your knees. Lower your hips. And lower your head. Alright, take a couple of breaths. Alright, coming up to Sphinx pose. So you have your forearms on the mat. Elbows are right under your shoulders. And then squeeze your elbows back as you lengthen your heart forward. Look forward, but you don't want to lift your chin. So lower your chin, hug it slightly back, press into the tops of your feet. So your legs become a little bit active. Knees are going to lift up off the mat. Alright, take a breath here. And then relax your legs. Slide your left arm across the top of your mat. Bend into your right knee. So you can stay right here, hugging your heel in towards you. Or you're going to reach over, catch your foot with your right hand, come all the way back, and then any amount, hug your heel in towards you. Alright, getting a little stretch for your quads. Okay, then let's release that side gently. Right forearm comes across the top of your mat, left knee bends. Reaching back, maybe finding your foot. If you have a strap, you could loop your strap around your foot. Alright, take some breaths here. Nice and cool. Release that side gently. Bring your arms out to the side and come up onto your fingertips as you lift yourself up into a little spider cobra. Alright, inhale here and look over your right shoulder as you exhale. Inhale back to center and then look over your left shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lower down. Slide your hands under your shoulders for cobra pose, or slide them a little further back for an upward facing dog. And then we're going to inhale, lift up, hug your elbows towards one another. Soft gaze, looking ahead. Beautiful, and then exhale. Tuck your toes. If you can press back up to a plank, hold there. And then we're going to press back down dog. In this down dog, just stretching out your back where we've done that soft back bending. Bend into one knee, bend into the other. Melt both heels down towards the earth. Beautiful, and then look forward. We're going to inhale, reach the right leg up behind. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, press back. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale back. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Beautiful. Inhale back. This time we're going to step the right foot to the top of the mat. Come into a lunge. Alright, as you exhale, lower the back knee down. Maybe walk your right foot a little forward. Let's come up to a high lunge. Arms down by your side. Alright, lifting through your heart, lengthening down through your tailbone. On your inhale, reach up. Soft gaze, looks up. Alright, we're going to exhale, reach our hands back behind us in clasp. And then slide your hands down the back of your left thigh. Melt your heart forward. Alright. And gently release and extend. Exhale, lower your hands down. Press your hips back. Straighten through your right leg. And maybe forward fold. So we stretched out the quad. Now we're going to stretch the back of the leg, the hamstrings. Hug your toes up towards you and stretch a little bit more through your calf muscles. Alright. And come back to the lunge. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee. Left hand stays down and we're going to inhale, open up into a twisted lunge. Awesome. Exhale, hand lowers. Alright, we're going to step right foot back. So option here to take a vinyasa coming through your plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, back down dog. Alright, the left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, press back. Exhale, left elbow. Inhale, back. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, back. Exhale, through. Lower the back knee. Take a breath here. And then inhale, lift. Anjaneyasana. Alright, exhale your hands back behind you. This time maybe flipping the grip so you can move all your fingers over so the other thumb's on top. Alright, inhale here. Maybe let your hips drift a little bit more forward. Alright, and then we'll reach up. Exhale down. Straighten through the left leg. Take some breaths. Hug your toes up towards you. Walking back into the lunge, we're coming back into a twist. So back knee lifts. Strong back leg. So you don't want to have like a weak back leg. It's hard to balance. So really press the back of that leg up towards the sky. Right hand down. Left arm raised. Alright, and then lowering down. This time instead of stepping back, we're going to step forward. Come into a soft forward fold, maybe take the back of your ankles and just rock out from side to side. Alright, hands to shins. Inhale halfway. Exhale bow. Inhale coming all the way up to standing. Awesome. Exhale your hands to your heart. And here we are, Tadasana. So lift all 10 toes up off of the mat, spread them and place them back down. Let your arms come to your side. Close your eyes and take some breaths. Just arriving at the top of your mat, opening up to the potential of your practice. So that idea of your practice being a dance, when we're balancing or when we're in the standing poses, there's always that kind of a little bit of contraction, expansion, kind of always trying to find the middle ground so that we can stay kind of balanced and serene. Bring your hands together at your heart center. So we're going to stand well. Let's play with a little balance. So let yourself rock a little forward, a little back. And then press firmly down through your right foot. Lift your left heel. And then you're going to lift the left knee and the left foot up off the mat. So see if you can find balance. So it's rooting down through your standing right leg, standing nice and tall. Finding somewhere soft for your gaze to land. We call that a drishti. And also connecting to your breath. And another thing that really helps this balance is activating a little bit of core strength. So feel that hugging in and up of your neck. Keep all of that. We're stepping it back to warrior two. But we're going to go nice and slow and maybe hold for a few breaths in our warrior two. Okay, and then as you're ready, we'll step that left foot right behind the right heel and then open up to the long side of the mat. Alright, let your hips sink, but lengthen through your spine. Hold here, and then we're going to reach back, clasp our hands, humble warrior. So knuckles reach to the earth, heart lifts. On the exhale, we'll come forward and down, and your mat. All right. Inhale, bring it all the way back up. Take your left hand down behind you, lift your right arm, reverse warrior. Let's take reverse warrior to reverse triangle. So straighten into your right leg. Lift up through your right fingertips. We're moving into triangle pose from here. So make a big sweeping circle with your arms. Right hand comes down and left arm lifts. Awesome. All right, coming all the way out of triangle, all the way back up. Windmill your hands down. And then we'll take in prayer twist here. So it's a deeper twist. You can keep the back knee lifted. That's going to be a little bit more challenging for your balance. Or lower the back knee. Once you come into the pose, then you may lift. All right, so left elbow to the outer right knee, palms together, twisting open to the right, and let your gaze just look beyond your right elbow. All right, and then we'll look down, lower our hands. Looking forward, step to the top of your mat. Hands to shins as you inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Before exhale, your hands to your heart. Take a couple breaths in mountain pose. I'm going to turn the other way so that you can see me. And we'll do the other side. So as you're ready, we're going to root down through the left heel, lift the right heel, then lift the right leg. So utilizing all those little elements that help us balance. Lengthening, pressing down through our standing leg. Engaging a little at the core. Softening the gaze. Finding the Ujjayi breath. And then let's reach back through the right leg. Heart presses forward. Maybe hold in your warrior 3 for a breath or 2. And then we're going to step it back. Okay, so that foot doesn't always land quite where it should, so wiggle it. So you got that nice alignment. And then move forward. So the alignment for this pose is having the arch of the right foot right behind the left hip. It's like you're standing on a tightrope or a balance beam. And then gaze, look softly along the middle finger of your left hand. Take some breaths. All right, and then we're coming into humble warrior. So when you reach back behind you, you may use a strap or a belt. Or if you're clasping your hands, see if you can flip your grip so you've got that other thumb on top. All right, and then we'll lift, lengthen, find a baby back bend, and then exhale forward. Okay, take a few breaths here. All right, and then we'll lift it back up, back to warrior 2. Turn your left palm up. Inhale, reach and lift to reverse warrior. Alright, take another breath here. Keeping everything but straighten into the left leg. Reverse triangle. Take a nice full inhale, maybe lifting up a little bit more through those lifted fingertips. And as we exhale, let's take a nice big sweeping circle all the way down to Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. All right, lower your gaze. Come back up to warrior 2. Take a breath. Spin your hands down so you're framing your left foot. And then we're moving into the prayer twist. So once again, option to have the back knee up or down. Right elbow connects to your left knee. Hugging your thumbs in towards your heart center. And twisting your heart center towards your thumbs. Alright. Unwind. Look down. Step to the top of your mat. And as you exhale, come into Uttanasana, forward fold, and hold here. Maybe take your first 2 fingers and your thumb and wrap them around your big toes. We'll take the back of your ankles. Take a breath. And we'll inhale all the way back up. All right. Back to Tadasana. Bring your feet wide and toes facing forward. So facing the long side of your mat is the easiest way to do this. We'll take a forward fold using that clasp again. So maybe using your strap. If your shoulders feel very open, you could come into reverse namaste behind your back. So if you try that, have the heels of your hands connected, because if it's just your fingertips, that's not really the pose. If that doesn't work, clasp them. Sorry about my dog. All right, inhale, lift. On your exhale, bring it all the way down. Arms reach up off your back. If your arms don't leave your back, that's where you're going to want to have something to create a little space so you have that freedom of getting a little bit more open in your shoulders. All right. Inhale back up. Bring your hands back to your heart. Take a breath. All right, as you exhale, reach your arms out and come halfway down. Right hand's going to come to the mat. Left arm's going to reach up. I'm going to come to a twist here. All right, hug back through your left hip. Beautiful. And then exhale, left hand down and right arm lifts. This time we're just snuggling back a little bit through the right hip. Right. And then let's lower down. Take a breath here. Walk your hands over to the right foot. And then any amount bend into the right knee. So you can keep it lifted, and if you have knee issues, that's going to feel a little better. Or maybe come down so you can sit on your right heel. Left toes can be facing up. For a little bit of stability, you could have your foot down on the mat. And then maybe stay here for a couple of breaths, then maybe one hand comes to your heart. Maybe both hands. All right, see if you can find the breath, the gaze, the core, everything that we use to balance. And then let's lower those hands down. Walk across to the other side. So now we're going to just sit on the left heel. Toes face up. So fingertips, maybe even just one fingertip of each hand. Or maybe just one fingertip. Maybe no. All right. And then let's lower down. Walk it all the way back to center. Walk your hands back behind you, fold yourself down, maybe a deeper forward fold. Right, and then heel toe your feet together. Keep your hands down on the mat. We're going to sit ourselves down to come into Malasana, squat pose. You can always slide something under your heels if your heels don't come down. You can have your toes out, that helps, at a wider stance. If it's comfortable for you here, make it a little bit more challenging. Turn your toes to face forward. Maybe bring yourself a little closer together. All right. And then you know when we come into this pose, that means we can play with crow. It's our arm balance. And crow pose it's the arm balance that we use for all the arm balances. So once you master crow pose, then it's a lot easier to start to work into some of the other balances. All right, so we're going to come with our knees nestled as high into the backs of our arms as we can. You want to have the whole palm, whole hand of each hand down on the mat. Lift your heels, bring your knees in. And then just start to lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. And this is a great place to start. So I'm looking forward, not down at my toes. And then just start to lean into it. Maybe one or both feet lift. All right, it's a dance. All right, we're going to lower down. We'll come back to squat pose. It really is a dance of finding that center of balance when you come into crow pose. It's leaning forward so that your hips, your legs get light enough to lift. If you don't have that leaning forward, and that can be a little scary because you feel like you might plant yourself forward, and you can always take a pillow or something there if you think that you need something to break your fall. Take another breath here in Malasana. Alright, and then we're going to come back to downward facing dog. Alright, stretch everything out and take a breath. Alright, pigeon pose. So walk your left foot in, lift your right leg high. Bend your knees, stack your hips, and then re-straighten and come through. Right. Coming down to elbows, wiggle your right foot forward, and soften down. Really take some breaths. The idea is that our hips are getting heavier If you'd like to deepen, you can wiggle your right foot a little bit more forward. Or maybe slide your left toes a little back. And then we'll start to make our way back up onto our elbows. If you have a block or a pillow, that might come in handy here. So I'm going to slide that just under the right hip. That's going to help to bring our hips nice and level. Helps a little bit with balance. Okay, slide your right foot in a little bit closer towards you. So there's a few options we can take here for upward facing pigeon. So maybe press down through your legs, your hips, into the earth so you can create a little bit of lift. And that could be up dog today. Or you could start to bend into the left knee, reach back with the left hand and find the foot. All right, so maybe this is your up dog, up pigeon. All right, or coming a little bit deeper, see how it feels. Maybe you can nestle your toes into the elbow crease of your left hand. Reach your left fingertips up and come here, or maybe reach back. Clasp your hands and come into vermin pose. Alright. And then once you're ready, we're going to release out of that side. You used your block or pillow. Slide that out. It's always nice to have that because then it takes the element of the balance away a little. And so you can work on fine-tuning the pose. Alrighty, and then as you're ready, come back up to down dog. Alright, walk it out, take some rest. Alright, let's come into the other side. So left leg lifts, knee bends, three-legged dog. Beautiful, re-extend, come all the way through, landing in pigeon on the other side. And if you do have a block, it's nice to have that just to rest your head on. Take a few breaths here. Alright, so the main reason we do this pose is it's a really good hip opener. Allow your hips to relax. Getting heavier and heavier as they sink to the earth. Take some nice full breaths. And let's start to make our way back. Alrighty, so I'm going to slide the block under my left hip, wiggle my left toes a little closer. I'm pressing down through the outer edge of my left foot, letting both legs get heavy and from my waist kind of root down. That gives me a little lift to reach up. If everything is just kind of here, there's not a lot of lift. You want to press down to root to rise. Okay. Staying there, or maybe we'll start to bend into the right leg. So staying here. Or maybe starting to wiggle your toes into your elbow crease. So that right hand, you want it reaching up, not dangling, because you're not going to be able to reach it if you go for mermaid. So coming back here, or maybe finding the clasp. All right, take another breath. Lower down. Slowly release. Oh, down dog's going to feel really good after that one. All right, so step it back. All right, stretch it all out. Okay. And then just take a few breaths. Melt your heart towards your thighs, melt your heels towards the earth. Press into the pads of each fingertip. Lengthen the crown of your head towards the earth. Very good. We're going to walk forward. All right. Slide our hands to our shins and come halfway. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach up, take a big stretch. And exhale your hands to your heart. Let's put everything together, one last standing pose. So taking dancer's pose. So in the Hindu mythology, Shiva is the kind of creating force, or the force of the universe. It's his dance. We're talking about kind of the dance of yoga today. He represents part of the trilogy in the Hindu tradition of Brahma, who is the creator, Vishnu, who is the sustainer, and Shiva, who is the destroyer. And between the three of them, there's this dancing energy that kind of is supposed to make the universe. Okay, so this pose represents that dance of Shiva. So come to standing. You could have a wall close by or a piece of furniture. If you feel open enough, that mermaid pose that we just did coming out of pigeon, you can make that into a standing mermaid, but I'm probably not going to do that today because I have a little bit of a shoulder issue. So we are going to reach, stand on the left leg, reach for our right foot. And you can always use a strap here too. So I'm going to demo this side with the strap. If you have the strap, you're going to loop it around your foot, hug your elbow in, reach your arm up overhead. Okay. Then take the other hand, either just keep it on the wall for balance, or bring that to the strap too. And then I'm going to start to press my foot into the strap, press my foot into the strap, press my foot into the strap, and lengthen my tailbone away. Okay. And then we're going to come all the way out the way we came into it. If you're super open, you could reach your hands back and maybe find your foot. But that's for my next yoga class, that one. All right, so you can use the strap, or on this side, I'll demo baby dances. So on the other side, maybe reach your hand for your foot. Bring your knees in alignment. Root down and lift up through your right hand. And it's the same thing. I'm pressing my foot into the hand, reaching out, reaching out, reaching out. If you use the strap, you're going to create a little bit more of a shoulder opener. So it's the same thing here. Elbow lifts, maybe both hands to the strap, and then I'm pressing, 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 pressing my foot into the strap and lengthening my tailbone away. All right. When you've completed that side, strap comes down to the mat. Close your eyes. Tadasana, mountain pose, standing tall, standing strong. Alrighty. Walk yourself back to the top of your mat. On your inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Hands down, feet back. Down dog. All right, look at your feet, walk them a little wider. Walk your hands back a handprint and walk them wide too. Okay, so one last pose here. So you're gonna root down into both hands. Reach your right leg up behind you, bend your knee. Maybe stand here, stay here in your three-legged dog, or press into your left foot in your right hand, unweight the left foot. And then maybe you can reach up and find your foot. If you find your foot, press your foot into your hand. Perfect. And then we'll release that side. So it's a little bouncy, but that's why you widen your feet wide, bring your hands wide. Okay. Right, we've got one more side to do. So left leg's gonna lift. Left hand's gonna press. Right fingertips come on weighted. Maybe reach up and find your foot. And then release. And then lower your knees. And come down to child's. Beautiful job. Okay, well done. We're going to come up from child's pose. Come down onto our backs. Lower all the way down. And then coming down, have your knees bent. Arms down by your sides. All right, lifting yourself up to bridge pose. So hips lift, you could take your hands and clasp them. Looking up, press into the back of your head. Lengthen your tailbone away. Take some nice full deep breaths. To release, release your hands first. Lift your heels and slowly melt yourself all the way back down. Take a breath. Second back bend that we'll do is coming up into a second bridge pose. If you're open enough to come into your four-wheel back bend, you'll lift all the way up to that. And we'll hold either of those poses for about 5 breaths. And then you'll lower yourselves back down. Release out by hugging your knees into your chest. Bringing your arms out to a T. Exhale your knees over to the right. And maybe turn your gaze to look over your shoulder. Inhale back up through center. Exhale over to the left. And take a few breaths. Inhale back to center. Bring your feet down to the mat. Take one hand to your low belly, one hand to the center of your rib cage. Let your knees come wide. Close your eyes and take about 10 breaths here. Allow your breath to really slow down. And notice not just the inhale breath and the exhale, but notice the pause, the space between each breath. And see if you can start to lengthen the pause. In that pause, there's silence and stillness. And each pause we can drop down a little bit and move a little bit more inward, get a little bit more quiet. Our yoga practice kind of signifies that dance of life. We move through the practice, we hold the poses, each pose we create, we sustain, and then we break it down. We move into the next pose that we create, sustain, and break down, the whole time connected to the flow of the breath. Start to let your knees come back together. Any last movements, maybe hugging your knees in, rocking from side to side. And then we move into Shavasana. And Shavasana translates into English as corpse pose. And it signifies the end of that cycle of our practice. We've done the practice. And then we come down to this place of rest, Shavasana. And we just allow all that movement and energy to work its way into our bodies. It kind of signifies the end of that cycle. And we'll be here just for a couple of minutes. So close your eyes. Relax into your soft, heavy body. And allow your body to just melt into the earth. Begin to draw in a deeper breath. Take a few nice full breaths in, hold them, and then exhale, release the breath out. So coming out of Shavasana, we begin a new cycle. Begin to move, stretch, anything that feels good for you. And slowly transitioning up to one side, to seated, coming back full circle to where we began. Close your eyes and just notice how your breath feels, how your body feels, the quality of your thoughts, your mind, and also how you feel emotionally. With these many different layers that make each of us unique. And then let your palms come to your heart center, sealing your palms at your heart. Bow your head. And maybe the gifts of your practice, the things that you receive on your mat, will allow you to move a little more easily, a little bit more freely through that dance of your life today. On your next breath in, softly lift your heart, open your eyes. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.